Hey, we got Power Source and Wound,
Hey everybody.
and we're going to continue the Warrior Arena run. This is part 2. Let's see what happens.
Booyah. So, recap from the last game. We won, so that's cool.
1-0 is always a good start.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll play some harder opponents. We've pushed this out to the weekend, so there's a bigger pool of players. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing as far as talent goes, but it should be fun either way.
We will see. Ooh, a rogue. Don't fight many rogues after the nerf anymore.
I think people are just overthinking how much the nerf actually affected it.
I agree.
So when you go first, you probably want 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, something like that in your mana hand. At least that's the best that I've seen.
Yeah, so we don't want the Berserker. And I think I'm going to throw the Dark Iron Dwarf back because he needs to buff something, and the raid leader is really not that good by himself. So let's get something else. There we go. Pint size is better.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good bullet magnet too.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good right there.
Yeah, we're starting to work in a good direction.
Yeah, no plays. So the pint size reduces minion cost by 1.
Summoning portal open.
Job's done.
And it's usually a pretty high value target, just because they don't want you bringing up something too powerful too early.
Yep, we'll see if he backstabs it. Nope, it's not going to be a backstab. What's it going to be? Perdition's Blade. Okay, that's a good play too.
Yeah, that is a good play.
Alrighty, well, so we can either get a card draw. He's not very useful right now. We can put the raid leader down, but he can just kill it with his weapon.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the frothing might be the way to go.
Frothing, he'll at least have to burn a charge on his weapon and a card in order to take care of it.
Yeah.
And he could take some damage because of it, so we'll see.
It's good we got the Reaper so early.
Yeah.
Can definitely start clearing out.
Yeah, so we've got some good spot removal, but right now we don't really have much idea of what this guy's deck is. So. And if he was trying to do a backstab into that, he just messed it up. Yeah.
We'll see. What are you going to do, buddy?
Get in there and fight, maggot.
Very strange play. Alright, so...
Well, he's got a good trade there.
But I can just kill it with the Cruel Taskmaster.
Yeah, you don't get the buff, but it's...
I've seen much worse.
Yeah, so you could probably just start filling up the board here. Probably get some card draw on.
I hope you like my invention.
That would have been nice earlier.
Yeah,
but-
if only.
So now if he wants to trade with it, he's going to take an additional 4 damage.
Which he's willing to do.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, no, and I think we got good value out of that card.
Oh,
anyway.
yes, we did. Very strange to use the Shiv when it doesn't, if you don't have a follow-up. I think he forgot he attacked.
Alright, so we
Let's
can actually start a Knife Juggler.
Nice
plus Raid
juggler
Leader.
to raid leader.
Yeah.
I like that.
You want to hold the BGH back in order to take out any of the big creatures that could be coming out, and you can do the Arcanite Reaper next turn anyway.
You're sure?
Right now we're in pretty good control though, unless he throws down spell power and does a
Yeah.
Fan of Knives or something.
Yeah, rogues are definitely not known for AoE damage.
Betrayal is a good one though.
That was a good play. The positioning I had was actually a little bit off there.
Yeah, it was not quite ideal. I mean, he's probably going to just take 3. Yep.
He's getting dangerously low on health.
Well, he's had to face tank a lot of this. So
I
in
think
this
it's
case,
about time to Reaper.
yeah, and just start chopping that tree down.
Tree's getting a lot shorter. He really needs to get some minions on the field.
Sorrow.
That's an okay play. I mean, the
The Reaper will one-shot it. It's just outside of BGH range. You got another Reaper to back it up, so.
Yep.
Armor, Reaper. Yeah, Armor
Armor
Chop Reaper.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's hope he doesn't have a...
An Ooze.
If he has an ooze, he's back in the game.
If he has some big monster that he drops now, he's out of the game.
Yes. We will see what happens.
Because then we'll actually have a good use for the big game hunter, and then you can buff it with a Shattered Sun Cleric.
Yeah.
For the crusade!
May my ancestors.
Oh, he did it.
Wow, okay.
So you get to use your big game hunter.
Yep, that's true. Let's start off with that.
And then I would probably Shattered Sun Cleric to get it out of kill range from the 2/3. Or actually, you can probably just kill the 2/3 with your.
I think that
Reaper,
I'm gonna kill it myself. I still want to get that up to a 4/3 though, or a 5/3.
5/3. Yep.
The Sunwell.
And probably armor up.
And we'll armor up. So we're in a really good position right now.
Yeah, this guy has not been able to establish any board dominance at all, and I feel bad for the guy. I'm sorry, Arjun. Yep, there you go.
So I would recommend not using Cold Blood when you can't attack that turn. Doesn't make any sense.
I tend to hold back my buffs in general until the turn where they actually do the damage, just to make sure that if you buff it up and they take it out, then you've wasted 2 cards instead of 1.
Right.
So that's just one of those things that it's one of those things that you'll figure out as you go along. It's a lot more effective to hold back the damage until it can be applied.
And I got very lucky that I had that BGH in my hand.
Yeah, well, you've been holding it for a long time, so.
Alright, well this is a decent start. Mages are really annoying.
Yes.
Whirlwind
they are.
with the frothing can be a nice combo. I wish this was a 2-drop.
However, I think this is worth keeping in the hand.
I
so.
agree. We're just going to hold on to it. Alright. We are not going to Whirlwind.
Oh, come on. Turn 1 Whirlwind. Super Pro.
This guy spells effect with an extra K, you know?
And an A instead of E. Affect. Alright. Well, this is an annoying spot
That
to
thing
be
is
in.
almost worth cleaving, but I can't cleave because there's not 2 targets.
However,
There will be next
he
turn.
will be because it's a knife juggler, so
Right.
we can at least keep the cleave. Hopefully he doesn't put 2 down.
So if he puts down 2, cleave is definitely going to be the play. See, this is going to be perfect. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play any minions with it, and I would like to get a minion down this turn, but it's just the cleave. These are 2 high-powered low drops.
Those ones are worth taking the extra turn and just getting rid of them. It'd be too much work to throw down minions and then figure out the trades while he's constantly getting buffed.
Yeah, that worked out fantastic. All right, so he played a secret. When you see somebody play a secret and they don't have any minions on the board, it's probably Mirror Entity.
Yeah.
So we probably don't want to give him a frothing. Let's give him the Razor Fin.
Well, it's either the Razor Fen or you could give him an Acolyte of Pain. I wouldn't do that just because he can ping it himself and he'll start getting a massive amount of card draw.
We'll give him the Razor Fin. Because if he mirrors the entity, he doesn't get the battle cry from it.
Right. So we should still net out with a 1/1.
Right. And we'll end our turn there.
For the king!
Interesting play. Wow, he's going over top.
So he's trying to rush us down, apparently.
So chances are he probably has maybe some fireballs or something in his hand.
Right. So we probably need to get a bit more aggressive with this. We should probably be dropping Frothing Berserker
Frothing
and Cruel
and-
Taskmaster.
Yes. And I believe the Cruel Taskmaster...
So are we going to take out the 2/5 or the 2/3? Because taking out the 2/3, we could just buff the Razor Fen and it'll stay alive, and we'll have 1 more damage to move around.
Right.
I think that's probably the way to go, because otherwise we're going to be trading 2 into a 2/5.
So you're suggesting to buff this?
No,
Because it'll die.
No,
from
no,
it.
the 2/3.
Right, yeah. That's the play.
Back to work.
And we're going to hit the 2/5. Actually, you know what?
That's
I might
what I was
just
talking about. Was
I could just go right to his face. He could have a blizzard next turn.
I think you should probably establish board control.
And get rid of the 2/5.
Get rid of the 2/5. Yeah.
Okay. Not a fantastic trade here, but
But we are going to get a massive buff to our Frothing
Yes.
Berserker.
so I feel like we can probably expect a polymorph or a fireball this turn.
Yep, and we'll be drawing out some of his more powerful cards for that.
He could also have a frostball. Frostbolt would just take that down to a 7/1. You could use a fireball. We'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what this guy's deck composition is just yet.
So this is probably polymorph or Cone of Cold. That works too.
That's going to buff him to oblivion.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. That's a really angry frothing.
Yes, yes it is. So we actually have Argent Commander here, which,
And I think that's the play.
yeah, I think we established the board control, force him to really stop this.
So he has to kill that 11/3.
Yeah, otherwise he's in serious trouble.
Magic shall not save you.
Silence is just as good, so we do.
So
still
he's
have-
almost worth picking back up now.
I think that is a good move.
Or the Dark Iron Dwarf's pretty good too. So I could Dark Iron Dwarf, buff the 2/3, run him into the 4/3, and then attack. With that, I could pick him back up and just trade there. But I'd like to do some damage to him this turn.
Well, I would hit him with the 2/3, pick it up, and then hit him with the 4/3, and then force him to trade.
Okay, I do like that.
Although you would be putting a 4/5 up for a 5/4 to be traded against the 4/3, so you probably just want to wipe his.
Well, I believe I'm going to use the 2/3 to hit him.
Yeah,
I am going to kill these off
yeah, okay.
and pick him back
Yeah,
up.
I think that's the right move.
I strike.
Always.
Wait.
Always
Pick him
attack.
up first, though, because isn't he only 3 mana? You can play him again.
Put it on
This is a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah, so now you trade.
So he's going to come back as a 4/4. Excellent plays here. Quality.
Quality, inadvertent quality.
To Northred!
For victory.
And he's gonna get good value out of this guy.
He is. Alright. We can put the Gnomish down and buff it and force him to trade.
Or we can put the Acolyte down and buff it and force him to trade.
This is true. We don't really want to have too many things out right now because
We're in
Flame Strike range. If he had one more attack, I could kill it with the BGH. That's too bad. So I'm thinking that we probably just.
I think the Acolyte Pain is right, just because he's going to be dealing damage to it anyway. And then buff it up.
And let's get a card.
Yeah. Save the buff.
Of
for
course, he
whatever.
always shows up at the end.
Just a little late.
So we'll see what he does here. The 4/3 for the 5/4 is a pretty good trade. He might have a Flame Strike. If he Flame Strikes, everything's dead.
What we do.
And he's going over
This
the
guy
top.
does not like killing minions, does he?
Oh, maybe. If he's trading there, he's not doing it right.
I actually want him to trade that. I don't want him to trade that.
Well, he figured out the correct.
He figured
play
it out.
eventually.
Good for him.
Arcanite Reaper.
Okay, so when this thing dies, it does 2 damage to everything. So, because of that, it's going to take off this thing's shield. when that happens.
Yep.
I can then whirlwind to take that out. So let's start with the Arcanite Reaper. We are going to hit this. This is going to get us a card here. Now
You can either run the 1/1 into it to get another card,
let's do that. I think that's good. That's a nice trade.
because it was going to die anyway if you're going to use the
Exactly.
whirlwind. And then at this point I would probably... I don't want to fill up the board just because of his ability to clear it. I would probably buff something up.
Yeah, let's just give this make this a 4/2 and send it
And then hit
in.
it. Yep. And if you wanted, you could charge in the 4/4 to start pressure. I think that's either that or
probably
it's
worth
the Gurubashi charge play.
I like that play because now he this may draw out the flame strike.
Well, this is lethal damage in your hand now because you've got 5, 4, 4. Oh wait, man.
we got
Yeah, it's you've
perfect.
got 13. Yeah. So,
So,
if he doesn't have a taunt,
he
you
needs
can't
to
get
kill
rid of
something. He's only got 4 mana left, so he's got a fireball or a polymorph,
Or a taunt.
or of course a really big taunt. Okay. So we've got a couple plays here. We could whirlwind, but that's probably not worth it.
I would probably drop down the Gurubashi.
With the knife juggler,
I mean, the knife juggler is probably going to get picked off if he's going for... yeah. I mean, kind of hard to say.
yeah. Let's just put down the Gurubashi. We're going to play this safe, and then we are going to
So,
armor up
Yep.
and hit him.
armor up, hit the 1/7, kill it off with the 4/2.
I'm thinking the 4/4.
Oh, just so he can't plink it, I forgot.
Yes.
Yep, that's a good point. And then just go to his face.
Give me a minute.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
We'll hold off.
We'll be throwing a lot of knives next turn if he doesn't clear the board.
The whirlwind works really well with the Gurubashi Berserker.
I got the best deals.
So he needs somehow to clear the board. Alright, so we need to test what that secret is immediately.
Shall not pass.
God, this guy loves taunters, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he refuses to trade. Let's see if he gets
now,
value.
Right now it's working pretty well for him, though.
Oh, beautiful.
This might have been a major mistake.
This could
on
be a
his part.
huge mistake.
So I'm guessing he's probably got...
He actually... So we need to test what this is.
Yeah, we want to test it with the 4/1.
Well, I think we need to kill this first and send this in to see what happens.
Right, so kill it off with the 4/2. You want the hardier one. In case he vaporizes it.
Right, I agree with that.
Give me a minute.
Or just kill him. You got it.
Okay.
Don't know what that was.
Well, it could have been an ice block.
No, I know, but
So chances are it was probably Mirror Entity again. It could have been a counter spell.
it could have been. We could have tested that with Whirlwind. It probably was Mirror Entity. So it's a good thing we didn't drop the Sunwalker.
But that was a good example. Yeah, Sunwalker been horrible. But that was a good example of it's sometimes better to hold off playing things even if you have the mana to do it. So let's
Playing it
keep
at the
it
right
going.
time is a little more important.
Absolutely. 3-0, pretty good start.
3-0, here we go. Booyah.
Generally, the way it works in Arena, though, is your initial opponents are lower quality, and as you keep winning, you end up playing more difficult people.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's actually any basis to that, or if it's just a perception thing, but it does seem to be the case.
Alrighty. Playing a priest.
Pretty much
Arctic
just-
Commander's too expensive.
Yeah.
And I hate throwing the Reaper back, but I think I'm going to throw it back.
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably see it. Frothing Berserker is... You got to keep it in your hand.
In a Rage, fantastic with the Berserker. You know what? They just wanted me to have this.
Yeah, I guess it didn't matter either
I
way.
didn't want it.
But Blizzard wanted you to have it. So.
This guy has shown up every game, too.
It's nice to have that ace in the hole, especially against a priest who can buff things to the point where they can really, really hurt you early game. So.
Yes, absolutely. So I think I'm just going to kill it off. I just don't want to deal with that thing. So I'm going to armor up and kill that thing.
Yeah, and this is one of those where, I mean, if you leave it alive, it's probably going to get 4 or 6 damage in on you anyway.
Exactly. Oh, I love that.
Well, that means he doesn't have one for later, but that doesn't
Absolutely.
mean you can't have like 3, so...
Agreed. So we got 2 options, the Frothing or the Acolyte of Pain. The Frothing is probably the answer.
Yeah, it doesn't trade well with his, so if he actually goes for that, it's going to be bad. I mean...
Let's see what happens. So Priest, he could have Shadow Word Pain
Shadow Word
to
Pain.
kill it. He could have a Smite, or he could coin into something, apparently.
So he's coining into a 4 cost. Okay, he's filling up the board.
Interesting.
And he's going over. That seems to be
This is a
what
theme
people,
for today.
Yeah. People really like to go over.
They do.
I would probably... I mean, this is just going to be annoying anyway. I would probably armor up and throw out the Novice Engineer. Do the Novice Engineer first, just to make sure that nothing
Yeah, let's see.
draws
Let's see
here.
what we get. If we get a cleave, that'd be great. Okay, so that'll be good for next turn.
Yeah. And then I'd probably...
I think I'm gonna trade that ooze.
yeah, I would trade the Ooze.
So that'll get the Frothing nice and angry. He'll trade the 2/1 into it if he's smart.
And if he's not, he'll trade the 2/4 into it. Or maybe he'll just go over the top. He was smart.
There you go. Oh wow. Light spawn. That's super annoying.
So we do have a good answer for the light spawn and BGH if he
That
buffs
is
it
that
at
is a
all.
very good point.
Knife Juggler, I like in this case, because we could Knife Juggler Acolyte of Pain, or we could Chillwind Yeti, because Chillwind Yetis are strong, and Gurubashi, he could kill it, so...
Yeah, I'm thinking the Night Juggler Acolyte of Pain might be a good idea, because I'd like to see a Reaper here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So let's do that. If it hits the light spawn, it'll drop it down, and it didn't. So we'll see. I didn't want to drop the Gurubashi there because if he would just Shadow Word Pain that, I'd be in a really bad spot.
Right, and this whole thing doesn't trade out well.
Now it does.
Now it does, because now he can actually run the 3/3 into the 1/3 and it dies.
And this is a funny thing to point out here. The raid leader cannot buff the light spawn.
Yep, because his ability trumps it.
Yes.
However, it's back up to a 4/4 now, so... We are in Argent Commander territory.
And I think that might be... Well, yeah,
Well, let's see what
this
you got.
is hard to say.
So
I'm
Argent Commander is a 4/3. We could take out the 4/4 light spawn.
Or we can play the Sunwalker.
Sunwalker's a 4/5 taunt.
Sunwalker might be actually the right play. Because he's going to have to throw a lot of stuff at that to bring it down. We're not in mind control territory. And he cannot Shadow Word Pain or Shadow Word Death it.
True, but he can't do either of those things with the other one either. But,
But he can trade this into it for free.
well, you'll already have taken out the 4/4. So it would be a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
And going the other direction, he could...
I'm thinking Sunwalker's the play.
I'm not going to disagree too vehemently.
We'll see what happens.
You were wrong, Leonidas.
So he's going to buff that out. So that's going to give him the ability to kill that in one shot.
So we do have Big Game Hunter for
Yes.
either of 2 targets,
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so we want him to leave we want him to leave that up.
Well,
Perfect.
the 7/6 will be our target now.
Yes. So that was a good trade. That worked out. We do need to get that light spawn down though, because I mean he's going to be.
It's going to
Really
be a
annoying.
5/5 next turn.
So let's play the obvious play first. Let's get the BGH,
and then
kill
assess
that.
our manic.
and then we've got 4 mana left. So we could pick him back up, or we could play the Yeti. Because
I actually like the idea of picking him back up, because he would have to trade both in to take out the Ancient Brewmaster anyway, and if he buffs up the light spawn to over a 7/7, it's a free kill. Well, 3 mana kill.
I agree. Let's pick that BGH back up.
I'll put it on your tab.
So he knows I have that, has that now. So it's like
He might be reticent.
he
to
might
make
be
a
reticent
big,
to drop it.
big thing.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
This has been a very trading out kind of slow-paced game.
Which tends to happen with Priest. There's a lot of... And he's just gonna go for it. Alright. I'll put it down to a 2-2.
Circle of Healing, such a strange card. That light spawn needs to die, though.
They'll never know what is.
So, the light spawn's a 4-4. We can kill it with the Ardent Commander.
That's looking like
And
a
then there's
mighty
no
healthy
good
option.
trade for him with it. So,
Yep.
I think that and probably the Infiltrator. Because that's going to be our guaranteed kill on the raid leader.
Unless he's got a Holy Nova. We'll see.
True.
Either way, this thing's out of Holy Nova damage range.
Yeah.
This trades extremely well with this.
Yep.
So we're back in a decent position here. We've got really strong cards in our hand still. I'd like to see my Arcanite Reaper pop up though. See, I just don't like going over the top in some of these situations. Unless he's got a Holy Nova.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, he's got another taunt.
that makes sense then.
Man, that thing's just one
However,
way.
that's a sad thing that's going to get traded out there.
Wow, Emperor Cobra's pretty good too.
Yeah,
So we're gonna trade that 6/4 for sure.
yeah.
So let's just do that and start the turn.
And let's just take out that raid leader.
And we're gonna take out the raid leader because that's just what we do.
So now we get to think of it.
Yeah.
We've got a Chillwind Yeti, which is a 4/5. Doesn't trade out well for him because, well, we're still alive.
Right.
We could also have a 2/7 Gurabashi Berserker.
Right. The Chillwind Yeti is fantastic against priests, and then there's the Emperor Cobra, but we really don't need it right now.
Yeah, it's not big enough of a... The 4/4 isn't big and scary enough for us to worry about using the Cobra.
Right. And we are in mind control range.
Right.
So I'm thinking that we should definitely do the Yeti.
I think we should do the Yeti and get some card draw with the Nomishin Banner.
Let's see what happens.
Job's done.
Cleave.
Well,
Could be
let's hope
worse,
they
I
start
guess.
playing some stuff, I guess. I don't know.
So if he mind controls the Yeti, that would be a problem. So that's why we did not play the Berserker.
That's a happy coincidence why we
Very
did not.
strange card to have on a priest, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good stats per value.
So I can actually kill. That's 4/6 now. If I
we
want.
can kill that 4/6 using Cleave as well.
We can.
Yeah, I think Cleave Yeti. Yeah, Cleave Yeti, and then we have a Gurabashi Berserker with a Cruel Taskmaster. That's I think that's a pretty solid way to go. Yep, he'll be a 4/1. Then we can put down a Gurabashi, and then give it, really just piss it off.
I'm almost tempted to throw the Cobra, but I'm getting kind of low on health. Should we throw the Cobra or armor up?
I'd probably go with the armor up. I mean, this isn't a good place to be.
Yeah. So, we're actually up one card on him right now, since he just drew. Wow, he had 2 in his hand. Priests are just really nasty with the removal right now. It's really annoying. There's not much we can do about it. Alright, at this point, he still would have done that to the Cobra. So,
Well, we could have thrown out the Cruel
Okay.
Taskmaster instead.
we're going to start this one with the Battle Rage, because we need cards.
Yeah, most certainly. It's not looking good, though.
There's the Reaper.
And we got another Gurabashi.
Yep.
So, I would actually say trade the 4/1 into the 4/4.
Yep.
Gurabashi. Cruel Taskmaster.
I like that a lot. We'll put this in Shadow or Death range, though, so we need to be aware of that.
Indeed. But we also
if
have
he
our
trades
Arcanite
that-
Reaper, so
Yes.
we're looking good on trading out his Gurabashi as well.
If he has a mind control, that would be devastating. But the good news is the BGH will be able to pick that off if he does take it.
Yep. And we can always Emperor Cobra next turn to have that that spot removal for any big guys that
Yeah.
might be coming out, which is probably going to happen on our next turn. So
This guy's gotten really lucky that he's had the right card at the right time.
very.
So, not much you can do about that, really.
Apple on your head.
All right. So
Okay.
we're probably going to want to equip a Reaper.
Yeah, we're going to equip the Reaper here. I'm thinking pick off the 3/2, trade out, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Because he's still up. He's no longer up.
And then we can either put down the Cobra and armor, or
I'm
probably
thinking, let's bring the Cobra out.
yeah, we need something just in case he starts getting something big.
Yeah, so that,
Or if he takes our 10-1
Yes.
and heals it.
yes. That's the thing against the priest. You always want to be, you have to be ready for the mind control. And when they do mind control it, you need to have a way to deal with it.
So
Wow.
This is not good for him.
He's about to get hit very hard. I'm thinking we need to buff him too.
Yeah, I would definitely give him that little bit of extra health.
And we're going to hit him in the face. And we're going to equip another one and armor up.
Wait. Oh.
I should have attacked. I missed it. That was too
Well,
damage.
if we lose by 2, you
He's
can blame it
still
on Power Source.
He's still in lethal damage.
Yes, he's still in lethal damage. And the great thing is, right now, if he mind controls the 11-2,
He's still in a bad spot.
we just BGH it, it's gone,
Yep.
and he's taking a lot of damage.
Okay,
this
the
turn.
Panther does not help him.
Mind Blast.
Mind Blast does not help him.
Unless he's got another Mind Blast.
And he does not. So he actually just lost.
Yep. Well, that was much closer.
So there
than
was,
the
I
others.
did misplay the Cobra, but
It
we
didn't
held
matter.
out. So that's going to be it for this part. So be sure to turn in for next part of the arena run.
Yeah, thanks everybody.